Hello and welcome to episode 54 of the Jeffrey and Brian Show. I am Jeffrey,
I'm Brian.
and we're just two guys drinking beer, talking what's going on. We got Ray with us again. Our token what do they call them?
Hispanic.
Minority.
Hispanic.
Our token minority.
Latinx.
Well, what happened to episode 53?
Did we not have a 53 or? Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't.
Hey, I actually had a record number of views for that one, and I got a new subscriber on that one.
That's funny.
I was like, all right, that was pretty good. I was like, I don't know what we did different. I was like, Brian was passing in, and I was like, maybe Brian needs to be blind, stinking drunk, and it's hilarious.
I'm awake.
That was from my iPad. The laptop was still running in the office the whole time.
That's right. So we had 4 screens at one point. Well, I think what it was, a big part of why it was more exciting or interesting, possibly, at least in terms of my viewership. I don't know how many listens you got. Might have just been because it wasn't the usual you and me back and forth with Ray interjecting. Because typically speaking, I know what you're gonna say, and you know what I'm gonna say for the most part.
Yeah.
Ray's the wild card here.
Mm-hmm.
However, he usually agrees with you. But every now and then he brings something in that both of us stop and say, "Oh yeah, we were both stupid." Speaking about people being stupid, I'm gonna bring up local news.
All right.
If that's cool. I didn't last time. I don't think the time before that either. And I've been making it a point for a while to do local news, haven't I?
Yeah.
At least Boston area.
Uh-huh.
But let's go my actual town. We had a mask mandate vote recently in my town, and there are a few of the 19,000 people in my town. And when I say town,
How many people voted?
Not many, very few ever do. But when I say town, I mean a literal town in terms of what a government is. There's a town hall meeting and people stand up and say yay or nay. And then if it's not overwhelming, they actually count hands. The actual anonymity. That's the right word?
Yeah, animosity. Yeah.
No, not animosity. Anonymous.
Okay.
Applied anonymity and animosity is like when you're an animal inside.
Was a no sticker vote, basically.
Well, your vote's not necessarily anonymous in a town hall meeting.
Unanimous.
Pardon?
Unanimous?
No, not unanimous. Anonymous. You're not necessarily.
Yeah, anonymous. Yeah.
Like your vote might necessarily be attached to your face because you might actually have to raise your hand and say, "I vote this way."
Yeah.
Which, believe it or not, actually plays a big part in the way people vote sometimes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A lot of people abstain from voting because they don't want to feel like they're the ones putting their hands up for the wrong cause. And it is interesting watching the mask mandate vote, for example. It was an overwhelming nay. Overwhelming. They didn't have to count hands. But the day before the vote, one of the select women that runs the board put something on Twitter saying that sometimes, she said the next person who disagrees with her, she's going to flip over a table or rip the still beating heart out of someone's chest.
Oh boy.
And she's on the select board, and then she threw a temper tantrum at the town meeting when she didn't get her way. And she's trying to go over the people's head and still require masks for government buildings like the police station, the fire department, the town hall. And she called people names. She called them stupid.
I guess people don't like democracy, but they don't go their way.
Well, 2 different women did this that were on the select women. And what pissed me off was the select men on the same board, because I think there's 5 that disagreed and actually said something. Of course, the jackass had to make a reference to the Nazis about like showing he didn't just say, show me your papers, because that's good enough, right?
Mhm.
He actually said it sounds very, 1940s Nazi-esque. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Well, never. I think as soon as you reference the Nazis in your argument, you're wrong. You know what I mean? Even if you're not necessarily wrong, you lose the argument because it's too
Yeah,
easy.
you lose credibility.
It's too easy to do. I mean, the Nazis didn't just seize power, they took over through the government. They were voted into place. It was a long process. It's too easy to find somewhere along the lines so you can make a Nazi reference. You know what I mean?
Right. Mhm. Well, I mean, I think that what you found there in your town is pretty indicative when you get down to the common folk. They're not big fans of mask mandates,
No, they just want to go to work.
and they want to be able to smile at people and people see their smile.
Yeah.
And, I really think that, I mean, it may have done something in the beginning, but now I think it's really a lesson in compliance. Let's see how far we can go to get people to comply and for
Isn't
how long.
isn't this what I said when this very first started happening? I might have to go back and listen to every episode. I'm pretty sure I said this like 6 times at the beginning. This is a test in compliance.
You definitely
How
said that more than once.
How far can they push you, and how hard can they push you for how long?
And people are not finally after
Before people
2
actually pick up a
years-
gun.
After 2 years, people are starting to, fight back a little bit on these mask mandates.
Yeah, but people
And
are
now
pushing.
they're fighting back on the booster shots, because President Biden's not following the science. There's no proof that these booster shots are going to do anything. And even the people in the FDA are quitting because they disagree with.
The every 5-month shot they're talking about.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Did you see the twice daily pill they're talking about?
Yeah. I saw that post on there. Yeah. More money for the drug companies.
Oh my God, I need to start actually writing down these prophecies, dude, because I said malaria pills so many times that you got pissed off at me that I kept saying it. But twice daily pills this is a malaria pill, but for COVID.
Exactly.
Am I a genius? Or have I just gotten lucky a couple times?
Nah, you're a genius.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to convince the wife to run for local office.
You got some other news on here from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, former owner of tannery banned from doing retail business.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Do you see the guy's name?
Uh,
He got booted out of the entire state of Massachusetts for being a racist. It is not the name you'd expect. It's not Smith. How's that? For someone being kicked out of the state for racism, it's like Hassam Ba al-Assar or something like that.
oh, okay.
Well, that's not actually his name, but it's like Hassam or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And then you got another. Massachusetts is the most educated state.
Yeah, apparently, but I've met a lot of dumbasses here.
Hey, just because you got a degree doesn't make you smart.
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
No, yeah, letters after your name does not make you a smart person. It makes you educated.
Yeah, educated in dumb propaganda.
Education's a good thing. It's
Basket
actually
weaving, underwater basket weaving.
that actually sounds like fun.
But
No, doesn't it?
What kind of job? What kind of job you gonna get out there? Like, hey, let me sell you my underwater basket weaving. Probably.
Well, no.
You can become an artist.
Yeah, exactly. You could live in the Bahamas where you have that sloping beach for like miles and sit in the water and make baskets and sell them to tourists.
Yeah, but how many people need that type of degree?
No one does. No one needs it. But if you think you can earn a living on it, and it's up to you to do something with that degree, right?
Yeah, but
if you can make a living on it, good for you.
But if you just go to this degree and it doesn't help you.
No, you're just upset because you tried to come up with a ridiculous example, and I came up with an example where you might make $1 on it. I know what you mean, though. It's like lesbian dance theory, to quote Ben Shapiro.
Like, okay, like what is it? A woman history major. Like, what? Like, how can you get a job? How much a demand is out there for that type of job?
museums and federal government. Well, local government too, I suppose.
But how many the demand is just gonna be like
Any
piece of cake.
history though. What kind of job are you going to get as a historian for real?
Teacher, professor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically
it's
you
like-
teach it,
but
or
it's
you.
not a big demand on it, so you're just gonna be like making this so many $1,000 a year, you know.
Well, maybe
It-
that's why we have so many positions in the federal government for people like historians, is to make sure that people go to school for it so we can teach it, because we need someone to teach it too. We know as a fact we need to teach history.
Well,
I'm saying if you can make money on what you go to school for, I think you did the right thing. Now, it's up to you what you study. But if you can actually make a living on underwater basket weaving, good for you. You know?
yeah, good luck finding a job.
Well, I'm just saying
You
that
might
might
be
be
able
awesome.
to become part of the circus, you know. You
Well,
can
they're gonna
become
put a big tank,
And if you
big tank
can't, then that was
house, and
you,
they're gonna you're gonna
and
see
you
you
can show
basket
them how
weaving.
you do it. You know?
This is back in 2014. This is how we used to make basket back in the days.
and well, if you can't make money on what you went to school for, then that was on you. You chose a bad thing to learn how to do, and now that's what you know how to do, and you're gonna end up.
I met so many people like with degrees and like doing the same job I did. Like, dude, really? Why?
Well, just because you went and got a degree doesn't necessarily mean you want to do that either. I've been to school for many things. I just wanted to know things.
Yeah, I know about that. Like, doesn't mean like you're gonna spend like $80,000, you know, a year just for something like you're not gonna get. There's not gonna be very fruit out of it, you know.
Well, here's the key: is once you get that first diploma, the rest of them come a lot easier because you have all your gen eds knocked out.
Well, ask Brian. He got like 7 degrees driving red trucks. At the
Hey,
time.
I know that's my early morning job. I still got my afternoon job too. So
Yeah, and I did many years of weld training, and I don't weld anymore.
Yeah. Well, that you had something came up. It's not that like you want stop doing it. You could find a job. I'm sure you could find a job. You know.
Oh, there's tons of
it's
jobs. I could have kept doing the one I was doing.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't
But
feel
you had
safe
it's a
doing
different
it.
situation. Yeah.
So I spent how much of my life, how much of my time learning this trade, and to include my enlistment, you know, that I ended up losing. Check this out, because of my enlistment.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm still waiting to get down to the end of that rabbit hole. I'm pretty sure that's going nowhere again, but this guy promised me he could help me.
Talk about enlistment. What's up with the Navy ship? I mean, the helicopter in San Diego.
They're all dead.
I didn't think they're all dead. Didn't they rescue one person?
Everyone that they're still looking for, they've declared dead.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
That's
well,
what I
there's no
meant.
way they could survive, is what their hypothesis is.
Like 3 days without water,
There's plenty of water. They're in the ocean.
You can't drink that.
fresh water.
Yeah, you'll die quicker of drinking that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Is you go, no, at least it's better than nothing. It's like, no, there's more salt than water.
Yeah. Would you
What?
prefer to be stranded in the desert or in the ocean?
I think the desert, because that you'd go to sleep versus running out of energy and drowning.
At least you can walk at nighttime, sleep in the daytime.
Yeah, where are you gonna sleep though? You're just gonna burn.
Find
You're
out
gonna
what-
melt in the sun, asleep, and you'll only
No.
burn on one side. That's even worse.
The rotate.
But at least you'll just fall asleep and die because you get exhausted in the desert. In the ocean, you're gonna get exhausted and you can't tread water, or you can't hold on to that piece of ship anymore, and you're gonna slip and drown. And that's even worse, breathing in the water. I'd rather fall asleep than breathe in water to die.
At least you can fight anything on land than in the water.
Yeah, I don't think you have much of a chance of beating any kind of wild animal in the desert either. But what kind of animal are you gonna come across?
I know, but I'm saying at least you got a chance you can fight it off, you know.
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
Better
even a
in the
scorpion,
water.
you could eat it. You know, and maybe
Okay,
get
Yeah,
chill
some.
it's sad, but accidents happen.
Shit happens. Everyone dies. That's death and taxes, right?
Yep. Massachusetts.
Speaking of, I invested in marijuana.
Right.
I bought some ETFs this week. It's almost like a mutual or an index. Well, there is an index, but it's almost like a mutual thing, or what's the other one? Whatever. Almost like the Dow Jones or Nasdaq, but not quite.
Oh, like an exchange.
Yeah. So I bought a whole bunch of little tiny bits of a whole bunch of different companies all involved in the industry, from the guys that grow it to the guys that take that and produce the product from it, and the guys that ship it, the guys that sell it, even the guys that deliver it. Because I think this field is going to explode nationwide. I think it's only become more legal. And I bought a whole bunch of shares of a handful of companies that are already big deal in the field.
Uh-huh.
Well, they're already established, so there's a better chance that they can expand faster than you or I could if we started now, for example.
Right.
I think this is an opportunity to get in on the ground floor of Philip Morris kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Granted, Philip Morris is 200 something years ago.
Well, they
But
opened that casino here.
I think it's only going to get bigger. It's going to be nationwide. I think the United States is eventually going to legalize it, not just each state. I think there's a lot of money to be made here, and why shouldn't it be you and me, right?
Right.
And I do not give up financial advice. Do not take financial advice from me. I am currently drinking a beer, by the way. It's
Another one.
It's a Shipyard Pumpkinhead.
I hate you.
Oh wow.
You and Derek went and bought the whole brewery out.
Oh man, I've been able to get this for like 2 weeks now here in Mass. Also, don't get your news from us. However, you can find us on any smart device by asking for the Jeffrey and Brian Show.
And buy our merch.
Yeah. Hey, I showed you guys a picture for merch, and neither one of you guys thought it was funny. I think you missed all of the dramatic irony in it. There's a lot of symbolism and imagery that I think you missed the messages on. Like how his he didn't actually have a microphone. It was just drawn onto his shirt. And then the
I thought the
cord.
guy looked too much like Sheikh Zula from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh, that could have been fixed up. That could have been fixed with the coloring.
Yep.
But then the why that came out of his shirt became real, and it just went down into the sewer because we're just talking a bunch of shit to a bunch of fucking shit dwellers. And there was even a little treasure troll sticking his face up out of the sewers as a little troll. I thought there was a lot of symbolism and imagery, and I was like, I thought it was awesome. Tina really hit it on the head.
I thought she did all right, yeah.
But no, we need something that we're all going to agree on if we're going to come up with something to print on a t-shirt.
You should make 2 bottles, drunk bottles, doing different stuff instead of just one.
The bottle was passed out drunk. That was.
I'm here.
Yeah, like last week.
Oh man.
I've been drinking for hours, Brian. You're gonna have to guide me here. What are we even talking about? Oh yeah, we were talking about her picture.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
I also thought about having the microphone cord go right up his own ass. I don't know if that would translate into a picture though.
Well, since there's a new governor in New York, magically the COVID tally keeps going higher and higher.
So Cuomo killed more people than he even admitted to after he admitted he killed people that he lied about.
Yeah, 12,000 now we're up to. An additional 12,000.
Are they gonna go after him?
Probably
No.
not.
No, of course not. What's even worse is I made jokes like killing grannies and grabbing fannies, and I'm all out of grannies to kill. Apparently not. Apparently he had plenty more he could kill.
Since we're on the COVID-19 topic that I swerved into by accident, let's talk about Joe Rogan. He created a shitstorm this week when he came out and said he tested positive, and he's using everybody's favorite Invectromectin.
It's driving me nuts that all the news is saying you took a horse dewormer
Yeah, it's not even that for.
Well, yes, they use the
There's a,
same medication with horses.
yeah, but there's one version
But
for
there's a
humans.
lot of medicine that they use with animals and vets that are used with humans too.
Like Tylenol.
I guarantee that medicine was prescribed to him properly, and
But
he only took it for like 3 days.
Well, the doctor that discovered ivermectin or whatever is discover the right word?
We came out with it.
Yeah, the doctor who whatever was like, hey, guy who wrote the paper about it, got
No,
a
I
freaking
like-
Nobel
well-
Prize for it.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese guy.
Yeah, he got a Nobel Prize because like this is gonna solve so many problems.
No, but
I bet it would kill me.
The what?
I bet it would kill me.
The drug?
Because
Yep.
you're allergic to penicillin.
I'm allergic to medication, basically.
Oh. No, penicillin got discovered because penicillin come from like fungus
Moldy.
and stuff like moldy stuff.
I bought bad cheese sandwich, but yeah, mold and bacteria. I'm allergic to.
Yeah.
Freshwater ponds, small freshwater ponds, make me sick.
Mm.
It's good for most people because you fight off these little tiny bacterium,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps your immune system. But my immune system can't. It's not even can't fight it. It reacts. I break out. I get sick.
Oh, who else is
I
in the
wasn't
hospital
supposed to
right now?
survive.
You know who's in the hospital with COVID?
Who's got
Oscar
COVID?
de la Hoya.
Whatever.
Like he's vaccinated, fully vaccinated. He ended up still in the hospital.
Well, we're beginning to see that just because you're fully vaccinated doesn't mean you're not gonna get it.
Yeah. So
Back on Rogan though. Everyone was making this big deal with his horse dewormer, but he took medication for 3 days. Then he tested negative.
And he also did other things too. He did,
A Z-Pack.
a Z-Pack. He did some vitamin C and vitamin D solutions.
Oh, yeah, but in 3 days he had already tested negative from it, and it was all over the news. What a fucking idiot! Ha 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 ha! He beat it in 3 days. You guys are on respirators apparently because you're relying on a vaccine.
Right.
And by the way, Joe Rogan is vaccinated.
Oh yeah, he's a
he came out.
people when the people go to be guest hosts on a show and they go to his studio, they have to get COVID tests before they go and get into the same room with them. They're tested. Adam Curry talked about having to do the COVID test last time he was on his show.
Huh. Interesting. Adam Curry was just in Deutschland again, right?
Yeah, that's where his daughter lives.
Most complicated language on the planet.
Yeah. Very crime ridden these days.
From what I hear, it used to be really good about crime because everyone was too fucked up on drugs because they were all legal.
Well, now they're not legal anymore. So.
And
so also, the Netherlands took in a huge Muslim population as immigrants, 10, 15 years ago. And
is that a
because
problem?
of that, yes, there's actually areas in parts of the Netherlands that the cops don't go into anymore because the Muslims have set up their own communities and their own Sharia laws and stuff like that.
Almost like a no-go zone.
Yeah.
Where they have, like you said, on their own communities, their own police forces, and they're governing themselves almost like they're independent.
Mm-hmm.
But are they still paying taxes?
Yeah.
As weird as it sounds, if it's working for the people living there,
well, if you're a male, it's working great. If you're a female, not so much.
Okay, well, yeah, it depends on what kind of version of Sharia they subscribe to. You're right.
Right.
Because let's be real, if you looked at the Catholic faith, depending on which lens you look at it through, you could be very ridiculously strict. You know what I mean? Like, according to the Catholic faith, under some interpretations, I'm supposed to beat myself for my own sins. in some interpretations of the Catholic faith, I can go speak to a priest and tell him my sins and be
And you're
absolved.
forgiven,
And in some interpretations, I can just speak to God on my own, almost like a Protestant.
Almost.
And absolve myself of my sins. However, even the guys that think they can do that don't quite feel right about it, because you're supposed to have at least a priest tell you to say 10 Hail Marys, 2 Our Fathers, and
Yeah.
Oh.
You Protestants have always fascinated me with your ability to not feel guilty about everything all the time.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
desensitized ourselves. So somebody put on here, some lady in Michigan had her rights violated because their tires were marked for 14 parking tickets.
This bothered me, actually. I read it like 3 times before I finally accepted the argument, and I read it to the wifey, and she agreed with my initial thought was, no, that makes perfect sense. But they were marking her tires with chalk to mark how long she'd been parked somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And when you drive, it gets knocked off. So it's not going to be there the next time you park. And that's how they do it. And she said that was a violation of her 4th Amendment rights against illegal search and seizure. And there's way more to that law than just illegal search and seizure. That's what we always say. But you have a right to your private effects against police insertion. The police had no authority to touch her shit,
Right.
is basically her argument. And like I said, it took me 3 times reading this article before I finally it clicked.
Uh-huh.
And she won.
Yeah.
And she got out thousands of dollars of parking tickets. Well, hey, no one ever wins a crazy I have weird rights that you misinterpreted arguments. You know what I mean? No one ever wins those.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm gonna grab a beer. You guys start a topic.
All right. Let's see here. This will be a topic for Ray to talk about. Ohio
Yeah.
becomes the 41st state to end sales tax on gold and silver.
Oh yeah. Dude, 41 states already, dude. I thought it would be like only 20 something. But it's amazing how 41 states. I guess they're getting ready for the value of the dollar just dropping. Okay. Hold on. Because we keep printing money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we got this $40 trillion coming in if we get approved. So
the 9 remaining states are, some of them already have measures. They considered measures to get rid of them already. Is Virginia taxing the? Let's see here. No, we don't tax it either.
Yeah,
It's
actually,
Vermont, New Jersey, Maine, Tennessee, Kentucky, Wisconsin, New Mexico, Mississippi, and Hawaii, and the District of Columbia still penalize them for having metals.
that's actually when I saw you put that in the group thing, I was like, 41st. It's only the 41st.
I thought it would be less.
yeah,
I didn't think that we didn't charge what was it?
the
Sales
state
tax.
tax.
Sales tax on silver and gold. I only knew there's a capital gains tax attached. If you're paying a sales tax on top of a capital gains tax, you're fucked if you're trying to even break even on gold or silver.
Mm,
There's no way, there's no even break even at that point.
yeah.
At least the capital gains tax is like, I could flip over my gold 2 or 3 times
Right.
and maybe make a couple bucks to pay off the capital gains tax and still preserve my wealth, which is still gold and silver will not make you money unless you are doing ridiculous, dangerous things.
Yeah.
I hope people understand that.
No, but you preserve your wealth for future. You hedge. You save you transfer wealth to the next generation.
That's the idea. But if you're going to, Obama put up to up to a 40% capital gains tax on gold sales if it's over a certain amount of money that you are getting handed when you sell your gold. Could you Imagine your grandkids selling $50,000 worth of gold that you put aside, or $50,000 of your today's dollars that they're selling at that day's wealth. We're going to assume $200,000, and they have to pay 40% tax on it. How
There's
much
not, yeah.
that just threw away 15 years of your life that you saved and worked hard and broke your back for your family.
Yeah, but well, who's to say the law not going to change in the future? You know,
It might. I'm just
but
saying it
you know
happened
what?
to. I'm just saying it
Something's
happened to
better than
someone.
nothing. Something's better than nothing.
Well, if that's the case, then you may as well bought stock in Verizon.
Why? Like, what is Verizon like? Remember Bell South? Where the hell that company went?
They got bought up by AT&T,
AT&T.
and
Sure.
then they split off again, became Sprint, and they got bought up by AT&T again. Then Verizon bought them. Then Verizon took over the entire field and got broken up by the government like 3 different times.
Yeah, but now Verizon's making a comeback with internet and cable.
Yeah, and actually, right now is probably a really good time to sell Verizon and wait for it to splinter apart again into 19 different companies and buy a whole bunch of Verizon again, because they keep getting broken up by the government for antitrust laws, don't they? Over and over and over. Yeah,
I have all my services with Verizon now: internet, cable, and home phone.
Everyone does, and soon the Congress is going to step in and say this is a monopoly, and they're going to create Sprint, AT&T, Graham Bell, or whatever they are again. AT&T is still around right now, but typically Verizon buys AT&T every time.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's what it'll be when Verizon buys AT&T. It's time to get the fuck out. How's that? At least they have T-Mobile to compete right now, but they're not doing nearly what Verizon's doing. T-Mobile is just good in cell phones, you know?
Yeah. Well, they're trying to get into a banking business. They have their own T-Mobile bank, and they're getting into the 5G home internet too.
5G just seems nuts. Like 4G is not fast enough.
No, it's not. I got 5G on my phone, and it's.
I can live stream video on my 4G in a basement, in a concrete basement.
If I'm in the right spot and the 5G is working right, I can get 200-300 megabits down, no problem.
Yeah, but the average person's is not doing that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I can live stream a video. I can watch the president speak on my cell phone in a concrete basement in a forest. Well, I don't need anything fast.
You probably wouldn't be able to get 5G in your concrete basement in a forest.
Yeah, it's not going to reach too far.
Because it's not as strong a signal as 4G is.
And what 4G is doing it for me, well, granted, typically if I'm in the house, I'm using Wi-Fi anyway. But when the internet's gone down or power's gone out, my 4G works down here. And it's fast. Like I plug in the generator. I don't run the internet, but I plug in the generator for like a couple TVs.
Oh no. Internet goes on with the generator.
Huh?
When I turn on my generator, the refrigerator gets plugged in, the microwave gets plugged in, the internet gets plugged in, TV gets plugged in.
I don't plug the internet in because my 4G can handle the internet for me. I have satellites that can do it. I use my phone to run my TV in those situations.
Okay.
You know, and I just what are they called? Webcast or whatever it is, not webcast. There's something where I can send my screen to the TV.
Oh, like Chromecast.
A Chromecast.
Yeah. And I can just I'm going to watch this on Hulu on my phone, but it's on my 56-inch TV, you know?
Yeah. So the Biden administration is doing everything they can. It's very interesting to me about going back to the mask mandates briefly. It's very interesting to me that it's okay for governors to put in place mask mandates because it's their right and their choice to do so, but it's not their right and choice to not make it mandatory as a mask mandate. So the federal government wants it one way, but not the other way. You can't have it both ways. It's really not up to the governors to decide masks or no masks if it means no masks. And what people aren't understanding, especially in Florida, when the governor came out and said he wasn't going to make it mandatory, he didn't say parents couldn't have their kids wearing masks to school if that's what they wanted. He just said it wasn't up to the school boards to decide to make it mandatory for all kids. It's a parent's choice and parents' rights issue.
Well, I think the issue, let's be fair. The argument people are making is the mask doesn't protect you, it protects others. So if everyone doesn't wear the mask, then no one may as well wear a mask. Now, I get that argument, but the problem is you're asking 6-year-olds, 10-year-olds to properly wear a mask when we know grown adults aren't wearing them properly.
Yeah.
And if you don't wear it properly, it's actually dirtier than no mask because you're creating a bellows and you're blowing the virus out because you're constantly touching it and pulling it down in your chin and putting it in your pocket.
Well, now the federal government has sued 5 states to get their way with the mask mandates.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be in for a shock. I think they're actually going to lose.
I don't know, honestly.
They're gonna use the 10th Amendment.
They're gonna do the damnedest. I would love to see the Supreme Court step in and use the 10th Amendment as the argument, saying the states have the rights.
Yeah, the government cannot force them to do whatever they want.
No, if it's not in the Constitution, the federal government can't supersede the states.
That's not really what it says. 10th Amendment says anything that's not given to the federal government as a constitutional authority is left to the states. So the states can pass different laws, but they can't violate federal law, which is interesting because marijuana is against federal law, but the federal government shouldn't have the authority anyway, because they're not given, federal government's not given authority over horticulture.
And this, since we're on states' rights now, I added another topic as the show started that I can't believe that none of us came up with this, but there was big news this week when the Supreme Court refused to overturn the Texas abortion law, which basically says, if they can hear a heartbeat, they can't do the abortion. And everybody's freaking out about this. And we've had this argument before. The reason why Roe versus Wade is gonna fail is because
it's not a good argument.
It was dictated by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court created this. It never was voted on by the people. It should be a states' rights issue, and that's what the Texas is trying to prove here.
Well, and not just. This is how they got around versus Roe versus Wade on that. Is no one understands no one actually read Roe versus Wade.
It's supposed to be the doctors. The government should not be in business between the doctor and the patient.
Your right to privacy is how Roe versus Wade got through. Your right to privacy. Now,
it's now nothing about abortion.
So the way Texas got around this is they're offering rewards to people that are aiding and abetting the murder of preborn or whatever the word they use is. Now, here's the best part is the mother is not charged. Nothing happens to the pregnant person. Only the person attempting to perform an abortion or someone helping them get out of state to perform an abortion or something like that.
Yeah.
That's how they're getting around this, because it's not your right to privacy at this point. Someone else already knows this, and it's not your doctor giving away your information.
Right. Okay.
So I want to put that because everyone always brings up Roe versus Wade, but no one actually read it. It does nowhere to say you have a right to do this. It says that you have a right to privacy.
So would that be like?
Well, in that case, I should go walk into my doctor and get a shot of morphine because I want to get high, right?
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
Then,
no, but I talk about when people
Apparently.
ask you for your vaccine passport and you use a Roe versus Wade, like, hey, I got the right to privacy between me and my doctor.
You already have a right. You already have a HIPAA right in terms of your medical record anyway. But that doesn't seem to matter.
Yeah.
Well, rights, people only bring up rights when they think it's in their advantage. They don't know their rights. And then they think that Supreme Court decisions are rights. And that's what's so infuriating. I don't remember. Oh yeah, we're going to the Texas thing. But yeah,
the new
that was the
Taliban,
argument for Roe. That's how they got around Roe versus Wade.
the new Taliban in the West, Texas.
Yeah. I don't know what I think of this though, dude. I don't like the idea of killing unborn babies, but this is not going to stop abortion. And now it's going to be dirtier and more dangerous. We're going to go back to sticking a coat hanger or a knitting pin through the cervix to puncture the embryonic sac and cause a miscarriage and have to do it that way. You know what I mean? That's dangerous. It kills women.
Even though with legalization of abortion right now, people still finding dead babies in dumpsters and stuff like that. So it's just gonna happen no matter what.
Yes, I understand that, and I am not a fan of abortion at all. I am actually morally against it. It is against everything I believe. But I also understand it's not going to stop happening.
No matter where you put it, it's just gonna happen.
And I hate to say it, but what Hillary Clinton said in the 90s, I think might have been right.
What's that?
Safe, legal, and rare. It's not supposed to be birth control.
Right.
It's an emergency, it shouldn't be birth control.
Mhm.
But like I said, I don't know where to stand on this issue, dude. I'm morally opposed to it, but I understand it's not going to go away.
Okay.
And well, shit, Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, did you ever hear her quotes why she formed the committee?
She was part of. She was a big believer in eugenics.
She said, "Oh, if we do this, these quote ends will exterminate themselves." Well, New York City every year has more black abortions than births. But then, all right, let's assume that we're going to force these children to be born. Now they're all of a sudden they're going to be suckling off the teat of the system from a possibly crack addicted hooker mother. I'm assuming that's what we're saying is what's being aborted anyway, right? Because it's not being used as birth control, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume that the child that's forced to be born is going to be a crack addicted hooker baby. Is that better? And I understand I've made the argument, yes, it's alive, but is it better? I don't know, man. This is murky water. I don't think there's a right answer.
Probably not. So, we've talked about the eviction moratorium and the consequences it was going to have on landlords and renters overall. And Adam Richter,
Andy
is talking about how hard it is for his son to find a new apartment in Southern California.
Well, you know who Andy Richter is.
Yeah, he was with Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
He's a comedian.
Yeah, and he wanted the guy wanted 6 months rent up front plus security deposit or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Andy Richter's like, I understand that I can help my son out, and because I'm in a privileged position, but most people can't do this. And this is why people hate landlords. And this is why we did this eviction moratorium. Then everyone came back with, maybe it's because he's not allowed to kick someone out.
Yeah.
For over a year now. And he needs to make sure that he's not going to lose his piece of property. He got hit so hard with it. You don't understand that people have to make money to survive. You're so well off. You don't understand that we have to get by. Everyone apparently seems to think landlords is like one giant bank, like they're Capital One. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
No, it's usually you or me that owns a piece of property and rents out a room, or we
Yeah.
manage to buy a second house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what the average renter landlord situation
Uh-huh.
is. Or I bought an apartment and then I did really good at work and I bought a house. Now I could rent out the apartment. But people don't realize that because they don't
Right.
give a fuck. If you're doing better than me, then you obviously got it through ill-gotten gains. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I've already finished. No, almost done. Never mind.
So another thing going on is big news. This comes out about every year. You know, everybody's freaking out that the Social Security fund is running low on money.
I mean, the
And
government congressional slush fund.
Yeah. And that's why it's running out of money. It's because the government's tapped into it too much.
It doesn't
And
exist, dude. It's
another
been gone
issue
forever.
is that people aren't having as many babies and the babies aren't working to support. It used to be it took like 2 people to support one person drawing money out of the fund, and now it's a lot higher than that.
So you're telling me that the Social Security program is a literal pyramid scheme?
Yes, it is most definitely a pyramid scheme.
So it was guaranteed to fail, and not
Yes.
just fail, but bankrupt everyone
Right.
in the scheme.
Because they're saying when it gets to the point where it doesn't have any money, all they're going to be able to afford to pay out is like 78% of what they promised. And that's just now. Guarantee that's going to go lower and lower as more people hit retirement age.
I've brought this up before on this show. We've discussed it, but what about being able to sign a block or check a box or whatever that says I do not want to participate in Social Security.
I don't want to participate in Ponzi scheme.
No. You still have to pay, we'll say, even 50% Social Security tax, but you get a 50% discount, but you can never draw upon it. Might that solve this problem?
Temporarily.
Okay, we can push it back 20 years, maybe.
Probably. I mean, President Bush, G.W. Bush, tried to make it so it would be similar to how the military retirement is now, where
That's why it's so great.
Well, with TSP now, you probably don't know about that, but now people come in and they don't get a retirement at 20 years
I had a thrift
anymore.
savings plan.
I know, but now that's actually part of the retirement.
Well, that's what a TSP is.
Yeah,
it's a 401k.
But before it was just something I could put money into and draw on it like a 401k. Now it's actually incorporated into people going through boot camp's retirement plan. They don't get the 50% base pay at 20 years anymore. It's less than that, and the government matches. Honey, it's just like a 401k. The government matches up to a certain percentage, and you put in it. And their thinking when they created that plan was that this way, if you only served one term, you would still have some money coming out of some money when you got around to retirement age. Yeah, they've totally revamped the whole retirement system since we've left.
You have to. You can't keep paying people to not work. As terrible as it sounds, but you can't. And I understand the argument that, well, they created $3 million worth of wealth and they only got paid in their entire life $1 million. I get that, but why didn't we just give this guy $2.5 million, let his boss make $500,000 and let him invest it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if he starves to death, it's his own damn fault at this point, not the government's fault for spending his money on a fucking war that was never authorized. Maybe that's just me.
Anyways,
Ray, I think your microphone's too sensitive or something, buddy.
Oh, mine? You can hear everything?
I think I can hear you breathing.
Oh, my bad. Anyways, in other news, you guys, you hear about McDonald's and stuff hiring 14-year-olds?
Yes, and I heard of why they got rid of Ronald McDonald, but that's a different story for a different day.
I guess they cannot find people to hire no more, so they're gonna start hiring 14 years old.
Who wants to do that job for that?
That's
They
why
do
they got
$15.
robots doing it now.
Yeah. But also too, the Federal Trade Commission is looking into why the ice machine, the ice
The
machine didn't
flurry
work.
machines aren't working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
Oh,
So
I'm just saying that we better get ready for some hard men because we went through our soft times. I'm sorry, we went through our hard times. We got our soft times that are nice and easy, and they're creating new hard times.
yeah,
And we're gonna like you said, we got 14-year-olds or 15-year-olds working at McDonald's now because no one else would do the job because
Right.
because no one's doing the job. So you have Karen rolling up to the drive-through, flipping out over about 3 14-year-olds making her fucking Big Mac.
Yeah.
And she's cussing them out. What's the 14-year-old's gonna quit? Right? This is why no one wants to do the job. It gets worse and worse. And they pay you garbage. Let's admit that. I mean, it's not a job for an adult to survive on. It's really
Never
not.
was. It was never
No.
designed for that.
It was supposed to teach you how to do a job, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's not true at all. It's supposed to make McDonald's Incorporated money, right? But it's an entry-level job for first-time employees. Like first job, a lot of people's first job was fast food. My first job was selling records.
My first job was at a grocery store.
I was working at Wendy's.
Say fast food.
There you go, fast food. 1 out of 3 here.
Yeah.
He was
Anyways.
he was the general manager.
Who me? No. I got a little rant going on right now with this burger joint. This certain burger joints.
The
So
one the missing clown.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Like anyway, so every time we go to the playground with my kids, he's like, "Hey, I want to go get dessert or let's go do something." He's like, "I want chicken nuggets." All right, so I go to this specific burger joint. All right, and like, hey, let me get those on the non-adult meal, And so he got the nuggets, the fries, and comes with a toy. Usually a toy you can just play with it. But now I guess you need to download an app and use your phone to play with it. Like, I know, like, what kind of dumb shit is this? And first of all, now phones are expensive as fuck. $1,000 for a fucking phone. Like why would I sacrifice my phone for a kid to play his toy on top of my fucking screen to crack it? Like, no, I'm good. So like, no, I'm not doing that stupid shit. But why? It's just like, no, I'm not doing that. Let's just make a simple toy. The kid doesn't need the app for it,
Yeah. And there used to be boys, girls, and girls' toys, but not anymore. It's unisex toys.
Oh, dude, I never noticed that, but yeah, usually just a toy for kids. They get random stuff. Oh, they ask for a specific toy, like, hey, I already got this toy. Can I get a different one? Like, and they're like, they comply. Like, yeah, sure, no big deal, here. But yeah, I was just upset. Like, why do you need an app to play nowadays? Like, no, let's just get the kids away from the computers and cell phones.
And we're already spending too much time in front of screens,
I know, and I'm guilty of that because, like, here, watch something so I can just relax. But at the same time, I take him out, like, hey, let's go out, you can play in the dirt, go play in the playground, stuff like that. So
you guys, mustache.
You guys all heard about this restaurant in Florida that had to close down because of popularity?
Mm.
Yeah, he basically said if you're a Biden supporter, don't show up here.
So they closed down because of popularity?
Yeah, because
they ran out of
people
food.
Showed up.
No, they ran out of food.
Oh man.
No, that sounds awesome, but that sucks to be the guy who owns a restaurant who ran out of food. It's like you had customers. You had all that money you could have made, but you were not prepared. Apparently, people were calling in orders for overseas to give to veterans if they walked in the door and said, I'm a veteran.
Wow.
Yeah, like they were
Yeah,
like
you
French
know.
with like if a random Navy vet or an Army vet walks in
Mhm.
and it's like give this man a free meal. Here's $100 for it. And like
Damn.
I don't have food to give. I'm out of food.
Yeah.
That
Mm.
sucks for a business owner, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like that's a good
Uh-huh.
problem, basically.
No, it's not, dude. He could have made so much more money.
No. But I said that's a good problem instead of a bad problem. Like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
I don't having lines a mile out the door are not good. It sounds good, but it means you're not taking care of your customers.
That's what I said. That's a good problem. Like you got a problem, but it's good to know. Like, like I need to. I wasn't expecting this windfall, a customer.
No.
But yeah, his sign said something like if you voted for Biden and you still support him,
You take your
everything that's
business somewhere
happened.
else.
It's like you can go somewhere else for your meal tonight or whatever. And they blew up
Same thing happened with the one in California where
California.
customer, the customer like if you want to, we don't require masks or something like that, and they just had a line of people lining up just to go eat in the restaurant, support him. But
I don't know what's going on in Virginia down there.
no, there's nothing going down, dude, because there's an election coming up.
Yeah, in November.
Oh,
So
Why-
yeah,
why
that's
don't-
why like that.
Ray,
That's
why
why we
don't
got
you
no
run for
mandates.
office, bud?
Huh?
Why don't you run for office for real?
I'm good. Nah, too many skeletons in the closet, and I like it where they are.
Yeah, but you're also the thick accented minority.
Yeah, I don't want to use that.
You could
Like,
run for mayor of Norfolk.
yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be the guy right now currently.
You could be governor,
He's
dude.
Huh?
You could be governor. Run.
Yeah.
Just
Look
pretend
look like Karl Marx with my looks.
you
Che
kind of do
Guevara.
almost.
Che Guevara.
Trying to
But
convince the
anyways,
wife. I'm trying to convince the wife to run for local office, and she's actually thinking about it now. She's getting really pissed off about our elected officials in town
how about you? Why don't you run for like a local office?
because of this show right here. You think I'm kidding?
They're gonna find it.
No, they
See,
would
that's what I'm
immediately
talking
find
about,
the
like,
show,
you're
and
gonna-
you know it,
Dude,
dude.
if you run for office, like look at Larry Elder. I'm surprised he haven't got any dirt dig up on him yet. And I don't even know when there's
Well, that's
election
this week. That's coming up on
Oh,
next
Larry
that's
Elder.
the 14th.
Larry Elder may well be the governor of California in a week.
Yeah,
Isn't that how Arnold Schwarzenegger got in as governor too?
Yeah.
Was on a recall?
yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they recalled Gray Davis.
Oh, so California's like Australia, just keep recalling the president.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad we don't do a recall with the president because we would never have anyone in office long enough to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So, I know we talked about it on a previous show about how Apple was going to start scanning everybody's phones for child porn.
Yeah, they shut that down.
Yeah.
What happened?
Everyone was like, "Don't be."
Don't be stupid.
Oh,
That's an excuse to
But
get into
because
your-
Apple's big thing is their big selling point for the longest time
Was
used
privacy.
to be privacy.
but now
they're
you're
gonna
gonna
go
violate
into
people's
your
privacy.
phones looking for porn.
Well, the problem is, and the argument they were making was, "Oh, what? You have a whole bunch of child porn to hide?" It's like, hold on, you're telling me you have a giant database of child porn to compare it to,
Yeah.
or is someone sitting there physically looking at everything in my phone? Either
Yeah, that's
way, you're wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another topic I wanted to bring up was that one I posted in there about how the former Marine had like $86,000 in his car
Yeah.
and they confiscated it.
Well, hold on. What did he have $86,000 in cash in his car for?
He doesn't trust banks.
Okay, no, don't get me wrong. I understand the argument, but for real, that's a lot of cash to be carrying around.
That's why you liquidate in gold and try
he
to.
agreed-
Okay, first of all, gold does not liquidate your fucking
No,
money. It-
that's harder
it-
to move than.
it's hardening your money.
Yeah.
But anyways,
But
He
you're
was-
right.
he
You'd be
could
better
afford
off
it. He
transporting
let him
gold
do the
bars
search.
than cash.
yeah. They're like,
He
hey,
did
look, I had it.
everything- he did everything right. He admitted to let him do the search of the vehicle when they asked. He didn't resist or anything
Oh.
like that.
Did he declare it crossing state borders?
You don't need to when you're crossing state borders.
How much? How much money?
86,000.
$10,000. $10,000. You have to alert the federal government when you do a whole bunch of stuff with it. Even taking $10,000 out of the bank, the federal government gets alerted.
That's what
I
But
don't
then
think it's.
he had to hire a lawyer to
Yeah,
get
of
his
course he
money
did.
back. Because
Oh.
the federal government was just going to keep it forever.
Yeah, I assume they did. Is he going to get it back?
No, he's getting his money back after the Washington Post and lawyers got involved.
So he actually is like, I don't trust banks. I keep my money. What are you doing carrying cash though?
Well, okay. I don't know why he was carrying it with him.
No, that's
but,
the dumbest way to do it.
Yeah. In
Like
Japan,
you said, gold
like,
bars.
in Japan, they got an interest rate on your bank.
So
So the
went
longer
back
you
in
keep,
there.
Go ahead, Ray. What's that?
in Japan, because the bank you do a negative interest rate. The longer you keep the money in it, they take money out.
They charge you to
nobody-
hold an account.
Yeah, because of
Yep.
inflation. So you there's a person who bought a used refrigerator and came to open the refrigerator and bottom drawer, like a specific drawer, and he found cash on it because people don't trust the bank and they just keep depositing the bank money in there. So yeah, it's like I really don't trust the bank. That's why I buy like different stuff to keep me,
Oh, I'll never keep more than $10,000 in a bank, period. And
But yeah,
I won't even get close to that, honestly. It makes it sound like, oh, you never have money. But no, as soon as I have more than a couple $100 put aside that I don't need it money, I
Mhm.
invest it immediately. You know what I mean? Like I basically make it a point to live on a paycheck to paycheck basis so that I can invest as much as possible because I don't trust the dollar, dude.
Yeah.
Right now, I trust obviously gold and silver to still store my value, but which one is storing value? Because the gold and silver ratio keeps moving, which is
Well,
weird. It's way out of whack for the last
I don't know. I honestly I prefer to have more silver than gold.
I
you
do
still want to have
too.
some gold.
It's easier to
still wanna
move
have some
silver.
gold.
It's more liquid.
Yeah, and
But
mhm.
you need an existing economy to be able to use silver as a currency. You have to be able to
Well,
sell the
you don't get
silver to
taxed
do
in
something with it.
41 states now for buying commodity.
Yeah, but I'm saying you have to be able to turn that silver into cash to be able to use it.
Well, dude, okay, honestly, I'll go to my coin dealer, and somebody came up to when I was there in the store, asking hey, look, how much can you buy from me silver wise? And the guy's like, how much you got? Was a large amount. We can talk any amount. He could just how you want your money. You want it directly deposit or you want cash because he got money. And the car I've seen his vehicle outside.
Oh, it's time to buy silver, dude. It is.
Yeah, but no, he just the way he does the business, that's his thing, and he's loaded. He can give you electronic transfer to your bank account, or he can just give you cash or whatever form you want it. He don't care the amount. And I've seen things I'm like, man, I can't believe he's displaying this, to me. But yeah, he's loaded,
True, but he's also doing it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
As silver goes up.
Yeah.
He will stop doing it as silver goes down again.
Well, too, yeah. By the same time when silver goes up, he gets a lot of silver too, so he will lose money if he don't push that out too.
Well, people sell it because it's going up in price, but then he sells it for more than he buys it for the same day.
Yeah.
Right? It's only like 40 cents an ounce, but that adds up until you buy 10 ounces. Then it, you cut down. You know what I'm talking about? The wholesale thing kicks in when you start buying so much.
Mhm.
Then you start buying it like a kilogram bar, and you're paying almost no markup on the actual price of silver.
Yeah.
But there's no way they're selling you that bar for less than they bought it for.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, but in terms of the last bar he bought, how's that?
Yeah. But here, other thing, he got other stuff in there besides that. He got like toys, like they're really expensive toys too. Like, oh my god, I can't believe that, like 1930 toys. You ask him that much for it, you know? It's just stuff like that. He got different, different variation collections and stuff. It's kind of cool, you know.
And you got to
And
remember
that's
too
all.
that people panic sell.
Yeah, yeah. And there's another store that I seen. They got like stamps, ridiculous amount of money for a
Yeah,
stupid stamp. Like,
I don't
god
get that, but it
damn.
seems to have value.
Yeah, like people like love that stuff, you know.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
don't get it,
just
but
yeah.
there
I
seems to
mean,
be a lot
it's
of money
like
in it.
if I see it in a museum, yeah, I can see like how valuable it is just because of history. But just selling and trading, like, I don't. It's not my more forte. You know, I just
What's
you know.
what's even crazy is you can go to the post office and buy a book of stamps. Not even a
Hmm.
book, just like a sheet, like an 8x8
Hmm.
of everything they have. I think they change them quarterly for like
Yeah, yeah,
$100. You could
yeah.
buy like 64 of each of them.
Yeah, I bought some stamps for Rainier because they got the dinosaur. Like, hey, you want some dinosaur stamp? Like, yeah. So like, here, let me get some stamp for dinosaurs, just for him to play with. It's crazy.
I remember when stamps were 32 cents.
Yeah. Now that I, unless you don't buy first class, like is it called first class? The stamp, like
Yeah,
you just put one and they still, no matter how old it is, they still
forever,
put
the
it.
forever
Yeah, forever
stamp.
stamp.
Forever stamps, yes.
Yeah. So that's the only way to buy stamps if you need to buy it
Oh,
meant a lot.
yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, no, the price of a stamp is never going down. Only
Yeah.
ever buy forever stamps.
Yeah. If you want to mail a lot, you know.
But the problem is that the stamps that might be worth something in the future are not the forever stamps.
No,
It's
Yeah.
the one they printed 100 of, and only 10 of them got sold.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Anyways,
I know here this is shocking news that
Uh-oh.
Fox News outdrew viewers with CNN and MSNBC combined in August.
I think we brought this up a couple weeks ago.
In August.
And I think you guys didn't believe me when I said that.
I don't remember. How
You
drunk
might have
was
been
I?
drunk.
Yeah.
I rarely remember these shows, honestly.
That's what we always talk about on the side. Like, we talk about that. Did we? Like, I don't remember. Dude. Like, I think we did.
Yeah. Actually, I more than once I've checked an old Google Doc. By the way, it's a pain in the ass to bring up an old Google Doc. It's really easy to make a new one when I have the old one brought up, because I just click
Uh-huh.
new,
Mhm.
and then I share it to you guys before I do anything to it.
Okay.
Then I send you the link. I'm sure you've noticed. I send you
If
the
you
email
log
first.
into the Jeffrey and Brian email, they're all right there in Google Documents. If you're creating them under the Jeffrey and Brian email, if you're creating them on your own email, then you just log in your own Google Docs and it's there.
By the way, you guys can email us at the Jeffrey and Brian Show at gmail.com.
I'm still waiting for the flash flood of emails.
We need to hire somebody to go through them.
Yeah, I know.
Smash that like button.
Buy our merch. So apparently we're about to swerve into the big category of the last few weeks.
Let me grab a fresh one. So build this up for another minute or another 30 seconds.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of talk about people resigning or heads rolling, and nobody's heads rolling except for the Marine who was fired for criticizing military leaders. And he gave up his retirement check because he said chasing stability makes him a slave to the system. So we all know you can't do that because we've all been in the military, we've all been in the Navy.
Well, officers cannot criticize the.
Well, even the Navy, even enlisted, you're not supposed to do that either.
The Marine got fired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did you actually listen to what he had to say?
Oh yeah.
When he actually said, "I expect to be fired over this."
Yeah. And he didn't get fired. Well, he got relieved of his command, and shortly after that, he came out and resigned his commission.
He was told to resign. at least he got to get a pension if he resigned. I think basically that's what happens. They gave him a choice to quit or be fired.
But now he's going to end up on,
Oh, good for him.
he's going to end up on Fox News as a pundit, and
Just like the guy that killed Bin Laden.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he'll replace the guy that killed Bin Laden.
And you know the guy I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. That SEAL.
Yeah, you saw him everywhere, right?
Uh-huh.
But I mean, he may have a lot of opportunities come from this, but he was what? Oh shit! I broke it again.
No, you sure?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to turn that into the extended warranty company.
Yeah, I thought I fixed it, honestly.
Apparently not.
Yeah, I
Okay,
guess
now
so.
you know, guys, not to take your furniture to Jeffrey.
But he was
Get a repair.
he was 3 years from retirement, was it?
Yeah, 17 years in.
Well, he's an officer, so 20 years doesn't really mean anything for officers.
Well, it would have been a
Yeah, but
full
it's-
on, like a whatever the fuck it means. It means something to him, I guess.
Yeah.
It seems like he actually sacrificed something. You know what I mean?
Oh, he did. Yeah, he definitely did.
And
yeah.
he knew he was sacrificing it because
Yeah.
he stuck to his oath,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. His oath to the Constitution,
Yeah.
not to, his oath
Whoever's
to
in
himself and the Constitution,
Yeah, and he stuck to his oath, and that means a lot to me. And that was a hell of a sacrifice to make, honestly.
Yeah. So, I know it's hard to believe, but Biden's approval ratings are dropping,
Mm.
according to MSNBC.
No.
So
I don't know
they
what
must
gives
be
that away.
real if MSNBC is reporting it.
The
Is it
news has
Richard?
not been good to Biden lately.
Well, they have to
And
come out
that's
with
that's the
clickbaits.
topics we're swerving into now is Afghanistan and Biden topics. So
Oh, by the way, sorry to go this weird direction. I've recently watched a Veritasium video. I don't know if you ever heard of this guy.
yeah.
Really?
Well, Veritas?
No, not Veritas. Veritasium.
No.
Same Latin root, but this guy does like sciencey stuff, like all sorts of weird sciencey things, and it's fun. But he did a video called Clickbait, and
Don't they there's a new show on Netflix called that.
well, this guy explained how everything is clickbait because to make money, you need someone to click on your shit, right?
Yeah.
And he was talking about thumbnails and titles. Well, last week's episode, I named the pachyderm.
And it worked.
No, I'm sorry, not last week, the week before. 0 views. There was a picture like it was a picture of an elephant. A pachyderm is a thick-skinned mammal, like a hippopotamus or an elephant.
Mhm.
Anyway, the one I got the most
Simple.
views on was a picture of Biden with his head in his hands, and then the title was "Tell Biden," and I got the most clicks I've ever got.
Nice. How many so far?
I think title and thumbnail means more than anything else, whether or not someone will click on it. Well,
Yeah, I
that,
believe that.
well, for first time anyway.
Yeah.
If someone has listened to your show, they might listen to it again.
Right.
But this clickbait is an important thing in terms of trying to get off the ground.
Yeah. You have to sell yourself, basically. Like nobody gonna buy unless you offer something.
Or we can start creating Facebook ads, for the show.
Yeah, well, that would actually cost money. Well, let's be real, man. We're just fucking
just
off
having fun.
drinking beer, bullshit, right? And,
Yeah, we're
and
just having
publishing
fun
it because
with
it's
it.
fun.
Yeah.
I still remember the day you came to me and said, "Hey, let's
Let's
this."
publish.
I'm like, "This is stupid."
Yeah. It's like we're really gonna publish this shit. Hey, aren't you glad I said that?
I guess.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yes.
We haven't killed someone because of it.
They take a fucking advice.
But exactly, it's like,
Financial all help.
well, this is what we did. We got in your backyard. We would drink. We would get stupid drunk.
Yeah, watch some UFC.
Yeah, watch UFC and listen to the crickets for a while, and then start talking about the current events. Oh shit! I just unplugged my headphones.
Still hear you.
And then, yeah, exactly. One guy's like, "Hey, man, we should publish this. It'd be hilarious."
Yeah.
And it was funny for a while. Then it got dull for a while.
But we weren't consistent at it for a long time. We were
Yeah.
just doing it here and there, hit and miss.
I think we're actually getting funny. I think we're funny when we do it, but we're also, let me rephrase that. We're not funny. We're discussing the news and there's humor to it.
Yeah.
The way we do it. How's that?
Yeah, that's good.
We're not trying to be funny. This is all just a giant shit show, and we're looking for the prettiest fucking pig with lipstick, aren't we?
Yep.
Speaking of, what the fuck's up with General Miley or Millie or whatever his name is?
White Rage.
Yeah.
That's what I call him. White Rage.
White
It's just
Rage.
Yeah. Sorry.
Why hasn't he been fired? Because
He's not
Nobody's
gonna
been
quit
fired except for the general, for the Marine Corps guy. Everybody's heads aren't. Nobody's rolling.
didn't Biden blame all of his like top military officials for what happened?
Obviously, must not blame them that much because they're still there.
That's my point. Is why didn't he fire them? If it was their fault, why didn't he fire them?
I remember 9/11, since that's coming up next week. Donald Rumsfeld offered his resignation.
You're gonna be cool
like,
to, yeah. Well, oh yeah,
next
but
day.
then it's like I can't believe I didn't see this coming. I'm so sorry, right?
Donald Rumsfeld tried to resign the next day after 9/11.
Because he blew it.
Yeah,
No, because he blew it, and he knew he blew it. That was his job, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
And then the president said, "I will not accept your resignation because we need you now more than ever." Right?
yeah. Uh-huh.
And you know what? That was actually the correct response by the president. As much as you want to fire him on the spot,
Yeah,
he still understood the system better than anyone you could bring in today.
yeah.
He's like, no, you're gonna at least you're gonna clean up this mess, and then I'm gonna fire you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do your recap again?
Sure, we can do that next week.
All right. Well, I understand. It's something
It's getting easier. It's been 20 years, so
It's been 20 years, dude.
I know. That's crazy.
No, what's terrifying is I work with people that don't remember it,
Oh yeah, I believe that.
and that scares me. Like they don't understand what could happen, how easy it is to kill so many. You're worried about an AR-15, you know, and yeah, you can do a lot of damage in AR, but really, when was the last time you saw a mass shooting with a fucking rifle? Period. You know.
Yeah. So I don't think that the Biden administration really took this evacuation from Afghanistan seriously. If they're, they were all saying, "Oh, we'll stay past the deadline. We'll stay past the deadline." We heard
didn't.
Biden say it over and over again. They were already winding down the flights out more than 24 hours in advance of August 31st.
We didn't talk about how Biden was actually offered to keep Kabul by the Taliban. We didn't bring this up.
No, we didn't. I haven't even heard this.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
The fucking phone calls got leaked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but that's not
got-
impeachable. That's not gonna.
Do you want to impeach him? Do you want to put Kamala in office?
No, but I'm just saying this is the exact thing that pisses me off about the government.
You mean the
depending on
Democrats?
who's in office and who's in charge of the House and the Senate. This is much worse than what President Trump did with Ukraine, and he was impeached for that.
Trump
Much
fucked up
worse.
Ukraine. He did. We should have. Wow. I'm about to say something I don't want to say. We should have started a war over that. As much as I don't want war, we promised the Ukraine we would protect them if they took apart their nuclear weapons.
Well, that was in Obama's administration when we should have protected them, not Trump's administration.
The
Crimea got
Crimea,
lost. Russia took Crimea during the Obama administration.
was it? I thought it was in the beginning of Trump.
No, that was Obama. That was Biden was involved in that as the vice president.
Well, as much as I hate to
You
say
give
it,
bad advice.
we should have started a war over that. And I'm glad we're not at war. But we promised these. Who's going to accept a promise from the United States for protection at this point?
Nobody. Nobody in their right mind, at least.
We may see Taiwan being taken over by the Chinese soon.
They took
gonna
apart.
happen.
Yeah. Oh, Taiwan's gone. And Hong Kong's gone. Are you kidding
Hong
me?
Kong's already been gone.
Taiwan's been gone for a decade. What about Tibet?
They're gone. It's gone.
It's been gone for a while.
That's why the Dalai Lama is in a, the monk in
Exile.
charge of the guy is in a different country right now. He ain't in Tibet anymore.
Yeah. By the way, you notice how ISIS showed up all of a sudden?
ISIS K.
The Kappa variant.
It's a special K now.
A special guy, it's even better.
Yeah, a special K.
I was thinking the
Like-
Kappa variant after the Delta variant.
And they're calling it ISIL again.
Oh,
That's because they don't want to make it think it's ISIS. But oh my god, they didn't exist when Trump was around, did they?
no, they just came out with it.
People
Hey,
the world may not have liked Trump, but they were scared of him.
No, that's actually what I liked about Trump. And I'm sure both of you guys know, I was not a huge Trump fan.
No.
I liked a lot of stuff he did. But I was very vocal with the things I did not like.
Yeah.
But that's what I
fine.
do.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm doing about Biden too right now. Just I'm sorry. I hope people understand that I have a free thought. And I'm not saying Republicans don't, but hope people understand that I just don't agree with either party. And I think Trump is not a Republican. I think Trump is a rhino. I don't think Lindsey Graham is a rhino. I think fucking Rand Paul is the rhino.
yeah, he's more independent, liberal than
Well, you're using rhino in a different definition
different
than the normal
definition.
definition of rhino.
No, I'm saying that the actual Republicans are the Lindsey Graham.
The
Those
2K
are the
back
Republicans.
Yeah, a lot of shit going on with Lindsey Graham. He just like
And I think
approving all the judges that
I think Rand Paul is a Republican in name only. He's not really. He's not. He's something else. And it's not a Democrat, but in name only, he's
more conservative. Rand Paul is more conservative.
more libertarian, like his father.
Libertarian, yeah.
But the problem is,
Yeah.
libertarians are a fucking joke.
But that's
These
why he
nuts-
won.
These
not gonna
nuts
run under
got
that
more
party.
votes than Gary Weld did,
Yeah, but I'm saying
or
he
Gary
that's
Johnson.
why they're not gonna run under the fucking Libertarian Party. They're gonna run under the Republican Party.
You got
because
to.
they
That's
got more
what
traction.
Jeffrey's saying.
You got more
can't-
traction.
Exactly. That's what he just said.
Yeah.
But once you put an R next to your name, you're automatically a Republican. That's exactly, and that's exactly what I said. Is these guys have to slap an R on their name, Republican in name only.
Yeah.
So Rand Paul is the rhino.
Yeah, but you use it in a different way that most people use it. And I know what you mean.
You just, like Brian said, you proved my point though.
Yeah.
I think the real Republican is the Lindsey Graham. Because they're gonna get reelected. I don't know how Rand Paul keeps getting reelected. I might want to move to Tennessee. I also want to see congressmen being blue collar workers again and not doctors and lawyers. Because I think that the people that break their bones at work should get a representation in the government. That was the way it was supposed to be.
Right.
Unfortunately, the first one that showed up that wasn't a doctor or lawyer was AOC.
Bartender.
Yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with a bartender.
I'm not saying, dude, there's nothing wrong with being a bartender.
But
Just
she's
saying
got an
that-
economics degree and she's a socialist. So she's obviously stupid.
Yeah.
Well, she had
From
to pay the debt
UMass.
somehow.
By
She
the way,
had to pay the
anyone
debt somehow.
went to school to UMass Boston, especially if you got an economics degree, demand your money back. Because this woman has a degree from your school in economics
It
and is
doesn't
a
basic
socialist.
Doesn't understand basic economics.
Oh,
I guess we skipped the day like when they're talking about socialism. How does it work?
she was talking about how she's got this business that like makes and sells goods, but they're not capitalists, they're socialists because they take their profits and they do with it what they want. And I said,
what
so what you mean it was
capitalism-
it's like so literally capitalism because you didn't have to give it to the government. And she said, no, what about taxes? It's like, you mean when the government takes it to give it to someone else? She literally defined socialism. I'm sorry, literally defined capitalism and why her business wasn't capitalist when she explained it out.
Yeah.
She didn't understand what it was. She started talking about taxes and she was like, I don't think you understand. Socialism is just massive tax.
Government control.
It's just massive tax.
Mhm.
Basically, the idea is you, Ray, build a business and you take the last 10 years of your life, savings, money, and everything, and you build a business. As soon as you hire someone, they own half your business. Then you hire someone else. Now both of them own a third of your business.
Why keep? Yeah.
No, why would you
No.
put
Why would you
put
build your
$100,000 into a business?
Yeah. Why even bother?
Yeah.
You can only lose. You cannot make money. You can only lose money.
Yeah.
And someone's arguing is that, well, because you'll help everyone else. Well, go ahead and do it
No.
then. Go ahead and do it
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna.
Well, the way you help out somewhere else is when you become
Fruitful.
fruitful and you hire people to do a specific type of business. Like you want a Ferrari, there had to be a specific type of worker to make the type of vehicle.
Yes.
You know,
Or even
you-
selling
luxury.
marijuana.
Yeah, like you want luxury, you have to hire somebody who's like a craftsman of that thing, you know, to make it better than a regular Joe, you know.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Ferrari was a good example actually because they make a supercar,
Lux-
a superior
supercar.
product.
And nobody else does it. You have to hire the best
Well,
of the best. to
the
make-
similar companies, but no one makes what Ferrari makes, right?
Yeah.
Just like Lamborghini or not Datsun, Aston
We're talking
Martin.
about Aston Martin, yeah. You're gonna
Nobody
talk
makes a
about
car like a Datsun besides Datsun either.
Datsun
It's
got
Toyota
bought up
now.
by Nissan in the 80s. They made the
No, it got
280Z.
bought by Toyota.
Nobody makes a Yugo like the Yugoslavians do.
Nobody got about Volkswagen like the Germans do.
Hey, the Germans made the first car.
Yeah, no.
No, Ford
Uh.
gets credit for the first car.
No, he gets credit
No,
for
he
the,
doesn't.
well,
He got the assembly line.
the
Yes,
assembly
thank
The
line.
you.
first car that the
Make it
common
a cheaper,
people could
affordable for
afford.
the average person.
Yeah.
Not just the assembly line, the moving assembly line.
Yeah.
The piece would move down, it moved down slow enough for everyone to do their job as it went past them.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he made the car affordable to everyone.
Hmm.
Speaking of, I keep seeing shit on Facebook. People saying let's F China and putting a made in USA sticker on everything we buy.
That's not gonna help.
That doesn't help anything. That just means we're wasting money on stickers that were
Yeah.
probably made in China.
That's a good point. But the argument I came back with was
Whoever's making stickers is gonna make money.
the argument I made was everyone says this, but everyone will riot.
Everybody goes for the cheapest product.
No, everyone. Yes, that's exactly where I went. But I went to the extreme. It was everyone will riot when their next cell phone costs $10,000.
Yeah.
Because as much as you don't want to believe it, slave labor is making your phone cost $1,000. Let's be real. Do you have any idea what kind of computing power is in that phone?
There's more computing power in my new phone than there is in my laptop.
I believe that, honestly. I really do.
I've had this laptop for about 10 years. So.
Oh, yeah. That's ancient.
Yeah.
The phone I had 10 years ago had more computing power than it took to land on the moon.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about that.
It's unbelievable.
The computers in the space station are from the 80s. So
they're looking to update them. Let's just strap some cell phones to it.
Yeah.
Like for real. Why not? And I'm getting ready to upgrade to the next phone because I'm a fucking stupid consumerist.
Yeah, I just upgraded a few months ago. So.
Oh, they have a folding smartphone, dude.
Yeah, Samsung.
My dick is so hard.
Dude, Apple's gonna do it like 5 years from now. It's gonna
fuck
be
Apple.
We invented that foldable phone. Like, no, you didn't.
No, we just improved the foldable phone.
Whatever. They're just gonna be the
problem is this thing's got 2 batteries.
The what? Oh yeah, the separate batteries.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not gonna be good.
And nothing is improved on the phone except for the folding thing. Like the camera's the same and everything.
You have to wait for at least 2 or 3 generations.
So you put on here today that somebody said McCall says the Taliban's not letting Americans leave through the airport. I didn't think there was any flights leaving from the airport right now.
I thought so too, but apparently they're still trying to get people out.
Because I thought we were waiting for the Qataris to come in and take over the airport and get it up and running again.
Well, that's probably why we didn't take off. Honestly, they left 5 jets with hundreds of people on the aircraft, sitting on the tarmac, I think, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I believe that's the one, right? That's why they didn't.
I mean, they keep coming out and say that there's only like 100 Americans left in Afghanistan, and they really want to stay there.
Well, there are some, and I found out why.
Because they're married to Afghanistan people that don't have visas to come to the U.S. yet?
No. A lot of them are Afghani born that got citizenship by helping the United States military. And you know this is something that we do.
Yeah.
How many Cubans got citizenship that way, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of them said, as much as I'd love to come to the United States, I can't bring my family because they're not citizens. I did a lot of digging to find that, actually. Because they kept saying American citizens don't want to come home as if this is some kind of fucking haven. It turned out people that were born there and they had, huh?
And the California students that are still stranded in Afghanistan.
Oh yeah, from the college.
You didn't hear me at all, did you?
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
No, Brian's talking about the California student that went to a field trip to Afghanistan. To Afghanistan, and now they're stuck over there.
Okay, hold on. What are they doing there now? Like,
Some
this has
liberal
been months
teacher.
and months. What?
Hey,
I don't know the circumstances, but it just seems nuts.
Hey, let's take a field trip to Afghanistan. What could go wrong?
Is this one of those examples Brian brought up last time was saying, some people just want to go there to prove a point? Oh shit, that might have been my wife after I ended the show and I was angry. No, she might. No, she might say, well, some people, it's true. It's like somebody just want to prove a point, even though
Yeah.
they're wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna go there as a blonde woman with no mask on my face. I'm gonna go to the middle of the freaking ISIS country and prove that they don't hate women.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like they're going to
Oh, you talk about
circumcise
It's
you
like
and then
going
cut
to
your
Saudi
head off.
Arabia and not wearing your burqa out in public, you know?
Well, that's the point she was making. It's like
Yeah.
people do this, trying to make a point. It's like, no, they're gonna circumcise you, and then
No,
they're
they
gonna cut your
won't.
head off.
It's like the couple that went to like, oh, people are not evil, you know, so they went to a like biking trip to a
I
middle
remember
of the
that.
war
Yeah,
field, like
yeah.
you
No,
stupid
no, though
idiots.
they actually had goodwill at heart too, though.
No, the world's evil. People are evil.
No, people aren't evil. Some people are evil.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like that's like people don't have good intentions at heart, and you have
Yes,
to
that's
treat
why
it
you
that
can't
way.
trust random strangers all the time.
Nah.
Right. So is anybody shocked? I know the three of us aren't, but is anybody listening to this fabulous show at
The
this
11
point in the
people.
show surprised that the Biden administration has lost track of a third of their released migrant kids? These aren't just released migrants; these are migrant kids.
Okay, what's the kid to them? Because could be like 18 years old by now. They're still
Yeah.
considered kids.
No, they didn't even know who they were when they came in. That's how they lost them. They did not
But
track
they got
any of
released
this
to
shit.
sponsors. They got released to foster care. They got released to relatives in the country. And a third of them we still can't find now. Don't we have a better tracking system than that?
No,
Nah. What you trust the government for?
I don't trust the government to fill a pothole.
Yeah. Unless you drill dicks on it.
Is that okay then? If there's
I don't
dicks
know
on
what
the
that means,
pile?
but okay, you like
No,
dicks,
you
I
heard about
guess.
that? Like some guy got tired of the city not fixing the pothole, so he went on the city, drove pow.
And that, he's hoping they would fix it because of it.
Yeah, they did fix it.
Really?
Yeah. I need to send you that. Like, you heard about that one?
No, I
No.
might do this because I'm pissed off. No,
He went out there, spray paint dicks and balls and all the potholes, and the city had to fix them.
we're
Like
spending
literally,
millions of dollars on a new community center that we don't need because we're not going to use it.
Yeah.
I might just go out and draw dicks because I think we should be fixing potholes instead.
Yeah, that's like, I'm surprised you guys didn't hear about that. What? Oh man, that was hilarious.
And so the last topic I got on the list is, as we know that because of the great strategy that the administration came up with,
The Great Reset.
allowing the Taliban to guard a checkpoint going into the Kabul airport, 13 Marines, actually, I think it was 12 Marines and one Navy guy. They call it 13 Marines, but it was a corpsman with the Marines that was involved too.
There was 2 Army soldiers too.
Okay. That lost their lives. And as one of the jobs of president is to go to Dover, Delaware and be there for the ceremony.
And look at your watch.
And be there to look at and to be there for the families and to pay respect to their sacrifice. And President Biden couldn't do it.
It would take everything I had. Honestly, it would take everything I had to not punch them in the jaw.
Secret Service would never let him get close enough to do it.
He shook their hands.
Okay, well, they may have had an opportunity, but
It would take everything I had to not punch him in the jaw. If he checked his fucking watch while my son his corpse was brought off the aircraft.
well, I imagine that they're
And the president checks his watch. It would take everything I had to not to
find
hit
out
him.
about until after the media pointed it out. Because if you're there, you're paying attention to. You're not paying attention to the president. You're paying attention to the caskets with flags on them coming off of the aircraft. I think it was the media that pointed it out to everybody that the president kept checking his watch every single time a body.
Everybody.
Everybody checked his watch.
That
And then somebody tried to say, "Oh, well, he has a rosary bead that he got from Bo when he passed away."
That's not how the rosary works.
I know it's not. I'm not even Catholic, and I know that. You
Okay,
know? You don't look at your
I should say
rosary.
you're not Catholic. Ray is.
Yeah.
You know that's not how a rosary works,
No, you
right?
just keep it. Yeah, and you can actually see the necklace. You know,
And
you
you
keep
usually, if you got,
the rosary is not a necklace. I'm gonna be wicked racist
No,
here
no,
for a
no, no,
minute.
no,
No,
but
I'm gonna
I
be
said,
wicked
like,
racist. No, you fucking spicks seem to think these fucking things are necklaces. They are not.
It's not supposed to be a necklace. It's supposed to be like you can see it. You know, like on your hands, you counting bead, like not counting beads, but praying for every bead and stuff like that.
Every bead has a prayer. It's not a
Yeah.
necklace. Don't wear it. It's not jewelry. For
It's
some
not. It's
reason,
supposed to just
Hispanics wear it as a necklace, and it really bothers me.
but yeah,
I know it's not supposed
that
to be.
excuse was hogwash, basically. Though,
Yeah.
you know, it's like he was really looking at his watch every single time.
And by the way, I sent you them the article about the potholes. It actually happened in the UK. I thought it happened here in the States too, but I guess it was in the UK.
Is that our show?
That's the show.
No shit, huh? Hour and a half.
Yeah,
Hour 40 anyway.
all three of us are wide awake.
Did you drink it all, Bri?
Yeah, I've had like 5 beers.
All right. Maybe we need to be less hammered. This show might be more entertaining, but
I don't know. I think it's more entertaining when one of us is passed out.
I think you might be right.
I'm here. I'm here.
By the way, anyone who did make it this long in this show that disagrees with us, I'd love to have you on the show. We're not looking for an argument. We're looking for a discussion. Maybe you can tell me why I'm wrong.
A debate.
As I'm sure you've seen, we don't necessarily all agree on the same things. We'd love a debate. And if you can prove to me that I'm wrong and change my mind, I'd be excited. But I got a feeling anyone who disagrees did not make it over an hour.
Right.
Yeah. We need to find someone to come on that disagrees with us. It might make it more exciting. But I don't know. I guess that's 54.
54.
Apparently we skipped 53.
Well, in my mind, we did.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
Well, I don't remember any of them. That's kind of the way I make sure to do it that way.
I'm not conscious for that, Your Honor.
Do you get plausible deniability?
Your Honor, I don't remember this. I was hammered with one beer.
Anyways, made this late. Subscribe to us on whatever medium you have found us. Apparently, we're available literally anywhere.
Pretty much.
No, that blew my mind. You can ask Google to find us, or Google will bring you to YouTube. But you can ask Alexa. She'll play our show too. I'm not kidding you, dude. Alexa.
I gotta test this another day.
Yeah.
You didn't know that? He'll do it.
Ask Alexa for the Alexa, play the newest Jeffrey and Brian show.
They will.
And she will.
That was so great. Now whoever's listening was on the phone, like, shit, my Alexa kicked in.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, isn't it? No, dude, we're everywhere, but no one listens. But we don't do it for listeners. We do it so that we don't kill people, right? Or ourselves.
Yep.
But I had fun.
Definitely.
I'm gonna stop recording right now.